Village morning, soft African drums in the background. The sun rises slowly over red clay rooftops. A dusty compound. A young girl, Ngozi, is pounding yam. Her hands are cracked, her face is dull, but her eyes burn quietly. Voice rich and slow. In the heart of Umuohia village, where goats roam freely and secrets hide under every thatch roof, lived a girl whose life was never her own. The door creaks open. A woman steps out. The stepmother, sharp eyes, thin lips, a wrapper tied tight around her waist. She barks, "Stepmother, Ngozi, useless girl, have you finished pounding that yam, or are you planning to sit there and die like your wretched mother?" Ngozi doesn't answer. Her lips tighten. She keeps pounding. A single tear rolls down. That was Ngozi, 16 years old, orphaned, trapped. Her stepmother didn't raise her. She used her, like firewood, like something to trade. Cut to a shadowy group of men entering the compound, laughing. Stepmother waves them in. Stepmother whispers, "She's ready. Fresh. Don't worry, just pay." But one day the story, not the peaceful kind, but the kind that followed pain. Her mother died when she was 6, a fever. No one helped. Her father remarried within months, and then he was gone too. A motor accident. From that day she belonged to Mama Adana, but Mama Adana never hid how she felt. Your mother was a witch, and you? A curse. Ngozi slept on a mat outside the kitchen. She ate scraps. She washed, cleaned, fetched water, and cooked for 3 sons that weren't hers. She called them brothers, but they called her house girl. She bled for the first time at 13. Her stepmother didn't give her a cloth or even explain what was happening. "Good," she said. "Now you can earn." That night a man came to the house. He was old, his teeth were brown. He brought a small bag of rice and a bottle of schnapps. Mama Adana sent her into his room. Ngozi cried silently that night. She didn't understand what was happening, only that she had to stay quiet. That became her survival. Silence. But the bruises stayed. The village whispered, but no one spoke up. Who would speak against Mama Adana? She had power, a sharp tongue, and she always smiled in public. Obinna arrives. Obinna had grown up far away in Lagos. His mother was from Umuohia, but he barely knew the place. He only came back to see land, maybe build a small retreat. But one night, scrolling through Facebook, he saw a photo. A wedding was happening in Umuohia. A photographer had captured the crowd. In the background, barely visible, was a girl pounding yam. Her face blank, her eyes heavy, her clothes torn. Something in him froze. He zoomed in. He couldn't explain it. But he screenshotted. And he couldn't forget her face. 3 months later, he returned to the village. He asked around. No one said much, but one old woman whispered, "That girl. That's Ngozi. That's Mama Adana's slave. You didn't hear it from me." He found the compound. He stood before Mama Adana, calm and confident. The bargain Obinna explained his purpose. "I want to speak to Ngozi. I'm not here for games." Mama Adana eyed him like a hawk. "You have money. I can smell it. What does a rich man want with a dirty girl like that?" "That's between me and her." Mama Adana laughed, bitter. "You want her? Pay. Everyone pays." Obinna frowned. "She's not a goat. She's mine. I raised her, fed her, clothed her. I made her. You want to take her? Fine. 2 million naira." He didn't answer. He turned to leave, but not before locking eyes with Ngozi, who stood by the side, trembling. Obinna left that very angry that day, because he never expected someone will be treated like that. But before he leaves, he made a promise, "I will surely come for her." Obinna speaks. "When I come, she will be free. Why will you use her for trade?" He said, "I am coming back for her." Voice fake sweet. "Ngozi. Ah, she's busy, very busy. But talk to me first. What do you want with her?" Obinna. "I've come with serious intentions. I want to marry her." Stepmother pauses. Eyes scan him. "Marry her? You? A rich man like you? That one will cost you. Obinna, surprised. She's not for sale. I want her heart, not her body. Stepmother, then you'll pay. Just like the others. And just like that, Mama Adana tried to sell her again. But this time, it wasn't to a predator. It was to a man who saw more than her face. He saw her pain, her silence, her strength. Ngozi finally steps out, quiet. Her eyes meet Obinna's. Something shifts. She's never been looked at like that before. Ngozi, soft. Are you another man buying my life? Obinna shakes his head. No. I came to give it back to you. But Mama Adana refused. She demanded money, plenty of it. I raised her, she said. I fed her. She's mine to sell. The village elders gathered. The whispers grew. People remembered how Ngozi used to limp, how she never smiled. And finally, someone spoke. Ngozi speaks. Obinna returned the next day. This time, he asked to speak to Ngozi alone. Mama Adana refused. He went to the elders. He told them what he saw. He brought gifts. He gave respect. The elders summoned Mama Adana. The village gathered. Ngozi stood in front of everyone, heart racing. Obinna looked her in the eye. Tell them. What do you want? Her voice shook. I want to be free. Murmurs, gasps. I didn't ask to be sold. I didn't ask for this life. I just want to choose. An old woman stepped forward. She was once a midwife. That girl has suffered. I've seen her bruises. Enough is enough. The choice. The elders ruled. Ngozi was not property. Obinna could speak to her. If she accepted him, Mama Adana had no right to interfere. Mama Adana screamed, she owes me, she's mine. But no one listened. That night, Ngozi sat with Obinna under the moon. She spoke for hours, about pain, about nights spent weeping, about men whose faces she tried to forget. He listened, not as a savior, but as a man who saw her. He didn't touch her hand. He didn't promise her magic. He just said, you are not broken. You are fire. Burn bright. The road to healing, Obinna took her to the city. Not as a wife, not yet. As a student, he enrolled her in therapy, in school, in a life where she chose her food, her clothes, her dreams. She cried when she slept on a mattress. She laughed the first time she saw an escalator. And slowly, the pain turned into stories. The silence turned into voice. Loyalty and the test. But peace wasn't perfect. Obinna had a younger brother, Toby. Charming, smooth, dangerous in silence. One evening, when Obinna traveled for work, Toby knocked on Ngozi's door. You're beautiful, you know. My brother doesn't deserve you. Why not be mine instead? Ngozi froze. I'm not a toy. Not anymore. He doesn't have to know, Toby whispered, moving closer. She stood firm. Get out. She told Obinna everything, shaking, terrified he would blame her. But Obinna believed her. He cut Toby off. If you can betray blood, you can betray anyone. It was then that Ngozi knew she was safe, and more than that, she had chosen her safety. The final attempt, Mama Adana wasn't done. She sent word from hiding. She would only give her blessing if Obinna paid her. She tried to blackmail, to shame, to threaten. Obinna replied with silence. Ngozi replied with a statement to the press. Bold, honest, brave. This is not a love story. This is a survival story. And I will not be bought. The story spread. Donations poured in. Ngozi launched a foundation to help girls escape child abuse and trafficking. She was no longer a victim. She was a voice. Full circle, 2 years passed. She returned to Umuohia, dressed in a simple white gown, head held high. Mama Adana was gone, banished after trying to traffic another girl. Ngozi stood before the girls of the village. You are not anyone's price. You are the prize. The women wept. The men bowed their heads. The village changed that day. Epilogue. Love, finally Obinna proposed. Not with flash, not with gold. Just a ring and a question. Are you ready now? She smiled. Yes, because now I know who I am. And the village cheered, and the drums played, and the girl who once had no voice became the voice of many. Moral of the story, no one should be born to suffer, love is not payment, and silence is not peace. speak, fight, live. If you enjoyed this story and you want us to do more, or you have a story drop, you comment, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, Maya African Folktales Stories. The Dream Beyond Pain. After the proposal, Ngozi didn't rush into marriage. She had one more dream, one she had buried deep inside her since the day her mother died on that broken bamboo bed. With no medicine, no help, and no one to speak for her. She wanted to become a doctor. Obinna supported her decision, proudly and without hesitation. He helped her apply to schools abroad. With the help of scholarships and donors from her foundation, she was accepted to a top medical university in the United States. The journey was tough, long hours, a new culture, lonely nights, cold winters. But Ngozi was used to storms, and this time she had her purpose burning inside her like firewood that wouldn't go out. Every time she opened a textbook, she remembered her mother's last breath. Every time she walked through a hospital hallway, she saw the girls from her village. The ones with no voice, no money, and no chance. Dr. Ngozi Nkemdilim. 6 years passed. Ngozi returned to Nigeria, not just with a degree, but with strength, wisdom, and a vision. She built a hospital in Umuohia, a place where no woman would ever be turned away. It was named after her mother, Mama Ifeoma Healing Center. The opening day was filled with emotion. The same villagers who once turned their eyes away now carried her name in praise. She stood at the gate in her white doctor's coat, stethoscope around her neck, tears in her eyes. I built this so no daughter will suffer like I did, so no mother will die crying in the dark. So that pain ends here. The women ululated, the elders bowed their heads. Obinna held her hand, proud. A love that waited. While Ngozi studied, Obinna had waited. He never pushed, he never complained. He focused on his work and used his wealth to support girls across Nigeria. But one day, as Ngozi stood under the mango tree near the hospital, he walked up quietly. I've waited for you. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. You are not the girl I found in the village anymore. You're the woman who saved it. Ngozi turned, smiling. You waited, even when I didn't believe I was lovable. You were always lovable, he said. You just needed to see it for yourself. A new beginning. They married in the village, under the sky where it all began. No gold chains, no fancy suits, just a dress sewn by village women and a community that had changed. Children danced, women cooked, men sang, and in the middle of it, Ngozi and Obinna stood. No longer two people with a painful past, but two builders of a future. Her hospital grew, her story spread. She became a voice on national TV, a guest at international conferences. But she never left her roots. She returned every weekend, walked the red clay roads, sat under the baobab tree and listened to girls the way no one listened to her. Legacy. Years later, she wrote a book. From Silence to Stethoscope. It became a bestseller. She started a scholarship, a network of clinics, and every girl in the region knew this. No matter what happened, there was always a place where healing lived. And in the heart of it all was Ngozi. Once a broken girl, now a builder of hope. The rejection that made her, but before they married, there was a storm. Not from the outside, but from inside Obinna's own family. His mother, Mama Ebele, was not happy. A village girl, from that woman's house? Who was sold to men like bread. She spat one evening. His sister said, We don't know her story, only what we hear. What if she's after your money? Ngozi heard everything. She smiled through it. But inside, she broke again. Obinna defended her, but it wasn't enough. The family withdrew. They didn't attend the wedding. They didn't call. Ngozi didn't fight it. She knew trust couldn't be forced, so she did what she always did. She worked. She served in the village clinic. She treated everyone, rich or poor. One day, Mama Ebele fell ill during a visit to the village. The local hospital refused to treat her without cash. Someone ran to Ngozi's center. She admitted Mama Ebele immediately, treated her, sat by her bed, made her laugh. Mama Ebele blinked back tears. You are not what I thought. Ngozi held her hand gently. I'm just who I've always been. From that day, they saw her clearly. not as a shadow of the past, but as the light of the present.